A little overly generous with the words, but thank you so much.
I can't wait to hear you.
Oh, boy. Well, I feel like you said it all, so there's really nothing left for me to say except, oh, it's already gone. For VBS, that'd be great, because what I really came up here to do was really talk about VBS and how we really need every single person to help us and to sign up to be crew leaders. And, oh, there it is. Thank you. And for donations that we need to get this program going. Without crew leaders, we can't have kids. So if we don't have the crew leaders, I have to shut registration down. I really hate saying no to the kids. They really love the program, and I want to have as many kids in the program here for that week as possible. So please sign up today, donate, and that's it. Thank you. So I am not a speaker. I don't know what this is, because this would be gone in like a sip, so I have my jug. Hopefully it lasts. So I'm not a speaker, so please be very gentle with me. Oh, happy Mother's Day to all the moms here. I know that is a bit loaded. Today can mean many things. It is a day of celebration. It also is a day of mourning. It could be a day of miracles, of gifts, of sorrow, a myriad of things. But for me, today is a celebration because I am here. Gosh, I already started. Sorry. I have two beautiful girls, and I'm so excited because one just made it home for college just for a few weeks to be here today. So she'll be here in the second service, so I'm so excited. And to Ariana and Kayla, I am mom, and also in a myriad of expressions of that and inflections. Moms know what I mean, because it's never just mom, it's like, mom. Or I do get ma a lot. Sometimes I think my daughter's from Brooklyn and not me, but I do get mother. I still get mommy sometimes, which I just love. I get madre, and even as much as I hate it, I get bruh. Yo, bro, bruh. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how old are you? Stop calling me that. Sometimes I even get a little bit of a dude thrown in there for a good measure. I do have some pictures I really want to show off. I try to condense them as much as I could. This is Ariana. This is my oldest. This was her first birthday. She is just like a little peanut. She still is. She's my precious girl. This is her representing her culture. My in-laws went to Naples, and VIP is very important, piccerilla, which means an important little one in Italian. Well, in Napolitan. Okay. She was 4 years old here. So always happy to take pictures for me. Okay, I don't want to say a whole thing. My precious little one, look how cute she is with her little ponytails. She still has the same smile sometimes. She's so excited here because I think it was the first day of school. I don't remember what year. It's horrible. It could have been kindergarten. Okay, so this picture, I have to tell you, was one of the happiest days of her life because she finally was able to vote. That's all she kept waiting for, to be 18, not to be an adult, but that she can vote. So we had to go together. We had to make it a whole celebration. My girl, she's all into the voting. It's awesome. And here she is graduating college a few years ago from St. Joseph. She graduated with, a degree in auditory speech pathology, whatever, but she's actually a preschool teacher instead now. We'll see where she goes with that. Isn't that cute? That's her professional ID. My little baby girl has a professional ID for work. Preschool teacher. Okay, so she's gonna hate me for putting this on, but every time we go out to eat or we go on vacation, I tell everybody, don't order anything that you've had before. I want everyone to try something new. And I can't believe it, but she did it. She tried oysters for the first time. You should have seen Mark's face. It was much worse. Next. And this is what the pastor was talking about. This girl, I don't know anyone who's more excited for VBS than Ariana. Every year, she actually downloads the music before I even hear it. She's there. She helps me every second of the way. She helps me with Sunday school, nursery, all that stuff. She's so good. And this is Kayla. This is my baby, who's not such a baby anymore. And I captured this picture when we went to the Garden City Children's Museum, and she disappeared, as she normally does, and I couldn't find her. And she just looked up and was like, what? Here I am. She's a little bit of my wild child. Next picture. All right, this is what she loves to do. This is what it was born. She had a birthday party. She got to cook, so she was so excited. We had a chef party. And here she is glowing. This is preschool graduation. I don't know if you can start telling the difference in their personalities yet. This is first day of kindergarten. And I didn't have to tell her, let's take a picture. She was just like, take it. And Kayla is my food connoisseur. She loves a good, deeply dipped buttercorn cob. And she is a fighter. She is a fighter. No matter how tired she is, she will go for her pasta. This is, I think, one of our favorite pictures of her, because I remember her just sitting there with her eyes closing. She's like, no, I have to finish eating. So she was just exhausted from that day. And she's representing, you can't really see, it's LGR, Let's Go Rangers. She is a huge, she's a huge Ranger fan with my husband. Not as much as you guys, but. And in May, she graduated Messiah University with applied sciences, health sciences. My gosh, what a bad mother I am. I forgot what it was. But she's going into physical therapy. So this was Messiah graduation for her undergrad. And this is her now in March. She's down in Virginia pursuing a degree to get her doctor of physical therapy degree. So this was her white coat ceremony in March we went to. Such a proud moment. And these are my two little girls. Gosh, it goes so fast. All right, so here's when you start seeing their personalities come out a little bit, how vastly different they are. You can have 18 kids, and they're going to be on opposite sides of the spectrum. You're going to parent each one very differently. So Ariana's just standing there cute with her little smile, and Kayla's just like, me. And now you really can see the personality difference there. This is me trying to get a Christmas picture for the Christmas cards, and Kayla was like, well, let's just make it fun. This is boring. And Ariana's like, you're just nuts. She still says it. She just looks at her and nods her head. Another one, me trying to get a picture, Kayla's personality coming out, Ariana looking at her like, dear Lord, what's wrong with this sister? And this is my family, my husband Mark and my two girls. This is actually a few years ago, but. And this is my husband who made this family all possible. Mark, we've been married now, last week was, on the 7th, was 31 years. Fast. And this is the woman why I am here, my mom who is sitting here. And she's made this all possible, so thank you, Mom. So, sorry. It's not working. So there is a saying that goes that somebody said the hardest part of being a mother is labor and delivery. That person never had to put their baby on the bus for the first day of kindergarten. That was heart-wrenching when I had to do that with Ariana the first time. Well, I'm adding to that, and that person never had to drop off their baby at college and just walk away. That's, if you've ever had to do that, it's not easy. I think it might have even been harder than the bus, especially when Kayla was just like, okay, bye, see ya. Why are you still here? And I was like, oh boy. All right, so it's also been said that being a mom is like having your heart outside of your chest. I definitely feel that's true, but there's actually a science behind that, kind of, sort of, in a weird way. A mom will always have her child's DNA imprinted in her, and the same for the child. The child carries a piece of their mom forever, and the child carries a piece, did I just say that? The mom carries a piece of their child forever, and a child carries a piece of their mom, because a baby and a mom are constantly exchanging cells. It's like they know it. When the mom is in distress, the baby sends out cells to try to help heal that mom, and vice versa. So there's always an exchange going on. It's not just, hey, I'm here all by myself growing. In fact, girl moms are extra special because we get to carry our grandchildren too. A baby girl, when she's born, already has all her eggs in utero, and it's 3 generations in one. I find that so miraculous, and I'm going to tell my girls later, second service, since I've already carried them, I'm keeping those babies for myself. I already went through a lot of work, right? Anyway, so a little bit about me. As you saw, I am a mom of two, but more recently, when I didn't know if I would be here to celebrate days like this. I didn't know if I would ever see 50, and I used to hate birthdays. Getting older, I didn't like celebrating. It just marked, you're getting old. But now I'm so grateful for them. Bring it on, let's celebrate. It's my birthday, I'm here. But report after report, it kept getting worse. I remember the doctor just constantly coming in with something else. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I looked at her and I said, am I even going to be here in 2 years? Spoiler alert, I am. But it was days before VBS 2022. My goodness, it's been so long. And I got pulled in after my mammo for a sono, which is routine. I've had problems since my mid-20s. And I ended up having multiple biopsies right then and there that day, which got me a little nervous. But been there before. I've had lots of biopsies. I've had surgeries in my 20s and 30s. And I remember my surgeon looking at me, and she was like, I just don't even know what to do with you anymore. That was comforting. But this time it felt different. And there must have been like 5 or 6 people in that sauna room working on me, a couple, like 3 or 4 assisting the doctor, and a nurse, my girl, Stephanie. She was at my feet. She was rubbing my feet. She was rubbing my legs, telling me it was going to be okay, talking about work to distract me. I had told her about VBS because I got an opportunity to talk about my faith. And I told her, I was like, I don't really have time for this right now. I have to go to church. I have to set up. I have to decorate. I have to make this place transformed for the kids. Until this day, she still remembers VBS and asks me about it all the time. And I still see her once in a while. But even before I knew anything, any results, God was already there. God is my provider, Jehovah Jireh. I was almost in tears of defeat at church, trying to hang things and decorate, and it was just me and my girls. And because I had just had the biopsies, I was not allowed to move my left arm or lift anything. So here I am trying to do things one-armed, and I started getting a little frustrated. And in walked a group of helpers that I was not expecting, and everything got done. Jehovah Jireh is my provider, and he has not stopped. Every day he provides, and it's grace upon grace upon grace, and his grace is enough. It's sufficient. And 2 Corinthians says, my grace is all you need. And I got the call during VBS that it was malignant and I had breast cancer. I had to get through the week. I had to keep smiling and singing and leading and pretending, hey, everything is fine, nothing's going on here. But I remember one morning almost breaking and cracking during our morning huddle. We get together, we go over announcements for the day. And I was speaking about our daily Bible points for the day. Man, let me tell you what timing God has, because we were speaking that day of how God is in control and he is stronger than anything. VBS is not just for kids, it's for us too. I can't tell you how many times leaders say, my goodness, I got so much out of this week. So I think you know where I'm going with this. Please sign up to help for VBS. We need all hands on deck. So appointment after appointment, scan after scan. I was so numb, I was confused. Everything was happening so fast. There was no time to think. There was no time to process. And in the end, I had stage 4, triple positive, aggressive, metastatic breast cancer that had spread to my lymph nodes. It had spread to my chest wall, and it spread into my bones, into my spine. And I remember, of course I put lemon in it, it's straw stuck on the lemon. I remember walking in, ready to fight. I was fully awake. I was talking to the doctor and the nurse. And then I remember getting a little nervous, laying there, face down, and I was praying the whole time. I really started thinking, I think I should have been like knocked out or something for this. But I was asking God to rally some people to pray for me because I felt a little vulnerable. And I was like, please, Lord, just have some people start praying for me right now. And the Lord gives perfect peace to those who trust in God. And it is his peace. It is only God's peace that was over me that got me through that. And when I got out, I remember rushing to the car. I think I had another doctor's appointment, or maybe I was trying to get here. And I ran to my car that I almost missed, seeing my sister sitting in her car. And she's here, so this is going to be hard for me. She was there praying for me the whole time. So God did rally. I don't know how long she was sitting in that car praying for me. But I put on a smile and I said, I'm good. And she was like, yeah, I know. I was praying that the Holy Spirit would cover you. And she said, while she was praying, the Holy Spirit be over me. She said, out of nowhere, a white dove came down and it landed on the roof of the hospital. And when she pointed out where that dove landed, it was right over the part of the hospital that I was at. Let me tell you, God is so cool. He is amazing. That is only a God thing. It really is. Oh, of course. That's what happens when I use it to hold on to. I got it. That's the devil trying to distract me from that, because God is good. And the peace that I got from that, I remember just staring at her when she was telling me that, and I was like, wow. She's like, seriously, a white dove? She couldn't believe it. But all those hours there, she also kept the funniest vlog for me that she took while she was sitting there. I don't know how long, but that was almost 4 years ago. But I have to tell you, she was praying, but she was vlogging because she knew she made me laugh with the things she was doing on there. It's so important. Through the trials, don't get wrapped up in it. It's important to laugh, to smile. And she did both for me. She prayed for me, and she made me laugh. So thank you, Lil. And that was the first chapters of a very long book. And God showed up at every turn of the page, every chapter. He is enough. He is all that I need. If I continue the next 4 years of this saga, we'd probably be up to, I told the pastor, like the third or fourth volume by now. So a quick overview. After my first line of chemo, I was scheduled for surgery. And a couple of weeks before it was supposed to happen, I get a call that it was canceled. My surgeon didn't feel comfortable moving forward. The chemo had not worked as expected, and the cancer had not really responded very much to the chemo. I think that was harder than being diagnosed. That was the biggest punch in the gut. All I had gone through, all I had endured and pushed through for months, I felt like it was this for nothing. And I'll be honest, it was hard to get up from that one, but I kept pressing into God, and I refused to hear the enemy's lies that he was trying to speak to me. I would yell at him. I was like, no, I'm not listening. I am not doing this, not today. So then more chemo for a year. A year later, it shrunk down enough that the surgeon was comfortable to have surgery. So I had that surgery, healed from that. Then for 7 weeks, every single day, radiation, only to be burned and damaged. I had to heal from that for 6 months, which actually ended up being a year, before I could have my next surgery. Then more healing, more waiting. And then I believe my last surgery was this January, but I don't know if I missed a surgery in between there. There's been a lot going on. So still chemo and pills in between. Enormous amount of side effects, and I still have them. I have new ones from the pills and the chemo that I currently take, and that's the Reader's Digest version, seriously. But I was just trying to insert some normalcy here and there, still dealing with a lot of the pain from the side effects. But his grace is sufficient. When going through it, it was day by day. Sometimes it was like moment by moment. I couldn't think about tomorrow, the what ifs, the what abouts. In Matthew 6:34, it says, do not worry about tomorrow, because tomorrow will worry about itself. Do not worry. That's a command. That's not a suggestion. You have enough going on. Why, you shouldn't be jumping ahead to tomorrow, to down the road, what's going to happen. It's not going to help. It just makes you sick. Just focus on today and give the rest to God. Even give today to God. There's nothing to gain by holding on to something. You lose your peace. You lose your joy. It was a very bumpy road full of trials before I was even diagnosed. We all have them, right? None of us are exempt from that. But what good are our trials if we're not going to get anything from them? We learn, we grow, we heal. We're prepared for the next bump or boulder in the road. We help others. We have spiritual growth and deeper faith. Trials test our faith. They build our endurance and they produce spiritual maturity. James 1:2-4, I believe it says, when trouble of any kind comes your way, consider it an opportunity for great joy. For when your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow. So let it grow. For when your endurance is fully developed, you will be perfect, complete and needing nothing. It's a lot. The past few years were no picnic. I don't know, unless your picnic has hornets and fire ants and tuna and some mayo salad sitting out in the sun or something. A little bit of a downpour and lightning. Then we can begin to compare it to a picnic. But he is enough. I don't care what the devil tries to tell me. Walking through cancer really forced me to face my fears, my weakness, my uncertainty in a way that I never had before. But it really showed me how faithful God really is. Even in the hardest moments, he's faithful. Being a parent is hard enough, but if you throw in a trauma or a financial difficulty, a major life change, maybe a job situation that drains the life out of you, or a diagnosis, life can quickly get overwhelming and difficult. Plus, for fun, you just sprinkle in all our daily trials and problems that we get. I remember when I was younger, I couldn't wait to be an adult. I just wanted to get married and have kids, and then life would be happy and so easy, right? This is like, but God is all you need. Although I still wouldn't do that young adulting ever again. And to be honest, I really had no idea how to prepare today. The past few weeks have been so hijacked for me this way or that, deep in the trenches of VBS. I didn't know what to share. I didn't know what would be relevant. And I asked God for guidance and wisdom, which to me meant tell Joy no, but again. I kept asking God for clarity, for time, for a word, something. But while I was trying to be quiet and still, I kept singing an old Keith Green song in my head, and I couldn't get it out of my head. It was like a gnat I kept trying to shoo away. And I was like, what is going on? I never sing Keith Green. And it kept coming back. Man, I wish I could sing, just break out into song like Kirsten and Pastor do. But the first line is, oh Lord, you're beautiful. Your face is all I seek. For when your eyes are on this child, your grace abounds to me. I know there's so much to unpack just in that one line, but the one thing, my favorite part that stuck out that I kept singing over and over was, when your eyes are on this child, your grace abounds to me. It's being seen, it's being known, cared for like a child under a parent's careful attention. One of God's name is El Roy, the God who sees. And God sees me, and he sees you. I'm not invisible to God. There were times I was like, can you even see me? Do you know me? Of course he does. He knows me. He knows you. And the grace means undeserving love and favor, of course. And abounds is overflowing. It's more than enough. It's a great quantity. So when your eyes are on this child, you see me. Your grace overflows in me. God's grace is enough. It's all we need. 2 Corinthians 12:9, my grace is all you need. My power works best in weakness. So every morning, thank you, God, for your grace. Every treatment, thank you, God, for your grace. Who am I so undeserving of his grace? Elroy, I am not invisible to God. He sees you. He knows you. You are his. How precious you must be that the God who formed the galaxies, the God who guides the oceans, he chose to breathe life into you. A God so big that the earth is his footstool. How many times I have been in awe, speechless in prayer and worshiping him, overwhelmed just by saying, you see me. When I couldn't pray, I'd call out Jesus, resting in him, knowing that he sees me and he sees you and he knows you. He knows everything that the devil is trying to throw at you. And you were created for his pleasure, by God, for God. And you're not here for you. Sorry. You were here, you're created to worship, to know God, to love him, to bring joy to him, to become like Christ, shaped for service and for ministry. And we all have unique gifts to serve God, whether you know it or not, you do. It's in there. I'm probably the first person to tell you I have no gifts. I don't know what my purpose is. But the body works together. And if you're not plugged in, get plugged in. Anyway, I have cried more tears in the past few years, more than ever before. And not because I was sick, and not because I was stuck home missing out on life, or I couldn't even walk to the bathroom by myself, but because I was so overwhelmed by his love. His faithfulness, his grace. I never questioned God. I never felt abandoned, because God is good, and he's good no matter what. Whether I get my healing here or in glory, I have joy. I have the joy of the Lord. It's my strength. And I'm not always happy, but I have his joy, and that's what fills me. It satisfies. I am never alone. Elroy, God sees me. He never left. In my saddest, I was never lonely. I had his peace. Philippians 4:7, when you experience God's peace, which exceeds anything that we can understand, his peace will guard your heart and minds as you live in Christ Jesus. It's his peace. It doesn't make sense to the human mind, but it allows you to remain peaceful, joyful, and at rest in the middle of chaos, in the middle of grief, in the middle of fear. When you're struggling, think how valuable your walk with Jesus is. How valuable it must be. What is God about to do in your life for Satan to continually want to disrupt it? When he's on the attack, get ready. That means God's doing something. Count it all joy. Find deep joy. It's a deliberate choice to follow God, and it all leads to spiritual maturity and completeness, like I read in James. People tell me, oh, you're so strong. I had no choice but to fight, but I'm not strong. The saying that says, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Well, what didn't kill me didn't make me stronger. God did. He is my strength. And cancer does not define me. It's not who I am. God defines me. The second part in 2 Corinthians 12:9 says, my power works best in weakness. And this perspective really shifts the focus. It goes from our ability to God's capability. What can he do? When we reach the end of our own strength, we really are in a position to experience God's power in a way that is not possible when you're relying on your own strength. His strength is perfect. It's not us. You can't do any of it. We see God's power when we give up control. It's not about his plan. It's not about his way. And it's his timing, not ours. I know that last one's a tough one. It's very easy to get wrapped up and make everything about you and yourself. Get rid of the I and focus on God. I can't. I'm not strong. I'm afraid. What am I going to do? It's not about you. There is no I. The only I is the great I am. And one of my favorite verses is Isaiah 41:10. Don't be afraid, I am with you. Don't be discouraged, I am your God. I will strengthen you and I will help you. I will hold you up with my victorious, my righteous right hand. It's all done. There's nothing left for you to do. When you feel the enemy coming, when you feel his attack, you just stand your ground and you face forward and you let the enemy see the face of a warrior. You're not having it. You tell the enemy, I'm not having it. God's got you and he will fight for you. He's got your back. It was the renewing of my mind that helped me a lot. I understood that verse, but I didn't quite understand it until I really had to dig deep. 2 Corinthians 10:5, it says, we take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ. Worry and fear, they're born in your mind because God did not give you a spirit of fear. When you worry, when you fear, when you think you need to be in control, when you're scared, you take that thought captive to obey Christ. And God says, do not be anxious about anything. Do not worry. Oh, but my diagnosis, do not worry. But my job, the journey I'm going on, do not worry. But my child, you don't understand what's going on. Do not worry. Like I said, Jesus said, do not worry. It's not a suggestion, it's a command. Don't let your thoughts run rampant. It's a downward spiral. It's not a fun place to be. We have the ability to choose different thoughts. You make those negative thoughts obey Jesus. And there were times where I felt like I had to physically grab that thought and bend it and destroy it because it has no power over me. It was not from God. Anxiety is not from God. You have to take every thought captive. Where is it going to get you anyway by holding on to that? If your child is making the wrong decisions and it's stressing you out and you're worrying, how is fear going to help you? You should be taking the time that you're devoting to that fear, that anxiety, and that worry. You should be occupying it, giving it to the Lord, and praying for your child instead. Give it to the Lord. His grace is enough. His strength is perfect. But if I hold on to my diagnosis, if I hold on to the problems my children have, if I hold on to my insecurities, as a mom, am I enough? I know a lot of moms have that thought. I've had that ball of knots in my chest. I felt the weight. I've had the anxiety, the what ifs. If you stay in that place, you're crowding out his power. How can you sit still and hear from the Lord when you have all these things going on? How can you experience his grace? Take every thought captive. And being a mom is not for the weak. How many times I've cried, I've prayed, I've laid hands over my girls' pillows, I've anointed their rooms, I've gone to the schools and prayed over the property, the administration, the teachers, the staff, safety of those buildings. Pray for your children. The hardest part about being a mom, and I know it's cliche, is how fast it goes. You can look at your 20-something, your 30-something, you're like, what happened to them? And you still feel like they're that little kid. And every stage has its own difficulties. Doesn't get easier as they get older, parents, I'm sorry. But everything else can wait. You only get your child at this age, any age, for such a short time. Every tantrum, every door slam, every hug, every smile, Pray for your children at every age, even before they're born. I've been praying since my girls were little for their future husbands. I used to pray for my son-in-laws before I even know them. I think I have a name for one of them now I get to pray for. Not for quite some time, though. But pray all the time in a quiet place, while you drive, while you do laundry, while you're making dinner. Pray over your family, your children. Pray for others. You know, sometimes people say, I can't even pray past like a 2-minute mark. I don't know what people are praying about. Well, when you don't know what to pray, you just sit in his presence. Give him praise. Worship him. Think of his glory, the character of God. He is holy and he is sovereign. We were created to worship. You know, sometimes I kind of like zoom out to the limits that we as humans have of this universe, and I think how vast and intricate his creation is. What a dot we are in the universe. What a like little speck of dust. But yet he knows you and he calls you by name. Oh, that is a God of love. How great his love for us. How can we not worship? You know, your deepest level of worship is praising God through the pain, through the trial, thanking him through it, trusting when you're tempted to lose hope. Worship is not for the good times, it's for all the times. Oh, I don't feel like worshiping today. I had such a bad week. Well, that's when you really should be worshiping. Every time you worship through pain, you are releasing a sound that hell cannot stand, I'm telling you. No matter the circumstance, no matter the outcome, he's still good. You had a bad morning, worship God. You had a great day, worship God. Whatever you go through, God gets the glory. It's never about us. Just surrender and let go and see what God can do. Jesus gave his all. How can I not give him mine? I know I talked a lot about worship, but don't even get me started because I can go on and on about worship. That's a whole other thing. But praise silences the enemy. Your worship is a weapon. You worship louder than the enemy's voice inside your head. Man, my kids will come home sometimes and they're like, what the heck is going on here? The music is on full blast. And I could be driving on 347. If you see me, just move away because I'm probably gonna cut you off and pass you up anyway. But I will, even this morning, you blast the music, you put that worship louder than the devil can speak into your ear. You dance, you worship, you praise. This morning I was worshiping with Forrest Frank because I needed to get my pep up. Sometimes a little Hezekiah Walker thrown in there for a good measure. You know, God has upheld me, and everything I have survived and thrived it's just because of him. It's all him. It's him alone. Never would I ever imagine going through this journey without the Lord. It's literally all him. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, and I can do nothing without him. He kept me in the unknown. He kept me in everything. I was never alone. You know, people fail, but God does it. Trials also show you who the real people are in your life, who shows up, who stays. I was so deeply moved by my COS family. The texts, the cards, all the meals. I can't express, thank you guys, I cannot express the comfort it was. Not just the food, but the love and prayers behind it. I have a tote bag filled with cards and letters and notes from my church, from my family. Even the staff is so incredible, praying, laying hands over me in sickness and pain, before scans. This is what community is. This is how we show up and we show Christ. This is how we show the next generation how to be like Christ. And you don't have to be a mom to mother. Raising children is not just a parent's responsibility, it's a community assignment. Every single one of us leaves something behind to the next generation. Your words, your reactions, your faith, your consistency, they imprint. Whether you realize it or not, someone's watching you. They're learning how to follow God and what that looks like. In Titus 2, it says to teach older women, and then they can advise the younger. That's intentional mentoring across generations right there. 1 Corinthians 12:12 says, the body is made up of many parts. Every person has a role. No one is unnecessary. Proverbs says to walk with the wise and become wise. Who you are around shapes who you become. And we've heard the phrase, it takes a village. That's not just cultural. It's biblical, as we see. And you may be a parent, but you're still an example. You may not have children, but you're still influencing them. You may not feel qualified, but God uses your life as a model. And the church is meant to be a place where kids have multiple voices speaking truth into them. Teenagers have a safe adult to turn to, and young adults have examples to follow. You know, one voice is powerful, but community is transformational. So who are you modeling for? Is it just your children? Is it a child in children's ministry? A teenager watching how you worship? A young adult noticing how you handle pressure? You don't need a title to be a mentor. The next generation's not just watching their parents, they're watching all of us. I don't care how young or old you are an example. And together, we're going to be either reinforcing that faith or we're going to be redefining it. Because today's culture has watered down Christianity, and we need to properly equip the next generation. And moms, you may feel like what you're doing is small. Your daily routines, the little whispered prayers, the lessons repeated. But God says it's not small. Newer moms may feel invisible, but God sees you. He sees your frustrations. You know, even science showed us that what you carry doesn't leave. You're shaping lives and generations. And today, if you feel weak, if you feel exhausted, if you're anxious, if you're unsure, you're not alone. God sees you. He is with you. And his grace is enough. His strength is made perfect in our weakness. I'm standing here today not because I was strong enough, but because he is faithful. Thank you for letting me share my story and jumping around and sticking with me and not falling asleep, I think. Okay. Just want to make sure. Well, that's all I have for now, but thank you so much.